Hey guys, I'm Pascal from Orangepixel and welcome to another video. Serious Lion has a question. He's the cause of this little interruption right now, sorry. Serious Lion, for those that don't know, on the Discord is the guy who does all the console versions of my Orangepixel games. So he takes my Java code, does something to it, and then it runs in monogame for consoles, Switch, Atari VCS. We got a bunch of things in the pipeline, but he sometimes runs into weird bugs in my awesome code, and then he needs help. Hang on, I just have to check what it is for a second. Hey, where is the part of that code to fix that bug we have? Okay, that sounds like an emergency. La 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 la, la la la, la 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 la, la 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 la. La 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 la. I'm here, show me the code. Oh, that code. It's the first line. I could have said that back home. Gonna go back to the Netherlands. Bye! Okay, so I hope you enjoyed that little intro because that's also the reason I do not have a lot of time for this week's video. Or I have time for this video, but I don't have a lot of content or topics for this video. We actually met up last weekend with Friedel, Serious Lion. Aline and I, we drove first to my dad's place, which is like 2.5 hours away from our home, but it's 1.5 hour away from where Friedel lives. So quick stop at my dad's place. Then we moved on to Bruges in Belgium, had a hotel there. Hotel was kind of crap. I'm not gonna call it out on camera. It was not what we expected it to be. Very tiny room, but the bed was pretty good. So we did sleep very well. We just couldn't really move around in the room at all. Those things sadly happen. But we had a lot of fun meeting up with Friedel. We have been working together on the Orangepixel game catalog since 2020, I think, 5 years now. It was before Residual, yeah, 2020 I think. We've been working together for 5 years. We never met until last weekend for the first time. That's not uncommon for me because I do a lot of my business online. Because when I started Orangepixel, the whole idea was me, my computer, and the internet is my world, my marketplace, also my place of business. And I have been doing a lot of business with a lot of companies and people around the world, all online. I only met a handful of people, I think, so far. But it was fun to catch up. We did a lot of talking. I think we spent a whole afternoon there, and then we spent the other day a couple of more hours there. We had a lot of fun. We talked about a lot of things, and it's always good to now know each other a little bit better, although the work just is still the same. I didn't go there just to show him a part of the code. I actually brought him something, but I cannot talk about that just yet. But we're working on so many things. Orangepixel is going through a lot of things, and part of that is on his end. So hopefully pretty soon I can talk about those things. And other than that, I had no real idea of what this video was gonna be about. I just had a very stressful, partly stressful weekend and partly a lot of fun in Belgium. Also, of course, Meganoid on Switch. I talked about that last week. it wasn't running on the Switch 2. And we had no idea why not, because there's no dev kits available for smaller developers. There's no crash logs on this particular thing. So last week, last Thursday, the video I talked about it, but last week on Monday or Tuesday, I think, we submitted a new Meganoid patch for Switch 2. Our idea was, it was our first release on Switch. Maybe we just had to update the SDK. So build a new version just on the latest SDK from Nintendo and hope for the best. There was not a lot of things we thought could actually crash the game after the logo of Orangepixel. The splash image shows, the animation is there, sound effects are working. That's a large part of the rest of the game's code as well. Graphics, sound effects, movement, screen rendering, it's all functional. So we had no idea why it crashed. So submitted that to Nintendo late in the afternoon on Tuesday. Got an email from Nintendo early on Wednesday morning saying Meganoid 2 was fixed. Which was a bit weird. And this was early in the morning when I read it. So I was a bit confused here. Also the top half of the email is in Japanese. So I had to scroll first to figure out that it wasn't in English and then find the English version. I wasn't sure how they managed to do the whole lot check within just a couple of hours and then also tell me that it was fixed. But then it also mentioned firmware was updated on Thursday, would be updated on Thursday, and that would fix it. And then it slowly came to me, okay, you're not talking about our update for Meganoid. You're talking about the problem being on your end on the Switch. Apparently a new firmware for Switch 2 went live last Thursday, fixing our game Meganoid. The crash, it's fixed, it's gone without us updating it. This also worked on a couple of other games. I know Astral Flux from CosmoCat and Hirogoshi on the Discord. Their game was also crashing, and after the firmware, it's fixed. So probably hundreds or thousands of games magically got fixed with a new firmware update, and I still haven't heard back from Nintendo on Meganoid, the patch, which is there. It's very possible they're now gonna tell me the patch has errors or problems, because sometimes things get approved and then when you update it without changing certain things, it does not get approved because the person testing it looks at a test case differently. So it's still possible that Meganoid, the update, is not gonna get passed or approved, but the game runs on Switch 2 without it. So yay, I guess, that's a good thing. Of course, Friedel spent, I think, a whole afternoon or a little bit more trying to update Meganoid for a new patch. So that's a bit of a waste of time, but it's also good to go through that whole process of updating things. And now the way Friedel and I actually started doing business was very simple, thanks to my YouTube channel. And thanks to him just boldly mailing me. I think at the end of 2019, my end of year video, I talked about wanting to get my games onto a Nintendo Switch and other consoles and things like that. And he just simply saw that video and figured, I can do this. I'm gonna mail Pascal and tell him I can do it. Of course, he wasn't really sure he could do it, but that's a little bit of a bold and braveness you need in doing business. Just go for it and promise things and then figure it out and see how you can get it to work. Obviously he did. So now we have almost all my games are on Nintendo Switch. The next step will be PlayStation and Xbox, because there are some opportunities there now, and it's gonna be interesting to get the games on there. Of course, Atari VCS versions are also out, which is also built on the mono game version. So yeah, it's been fruitful. It's been, I think, a win-win situation for both of us. We do it very simple, a revenue share, 50-50. My games, his porting, it's 50-50 work, and then yeah, so far it's been working pretty well. And I have met other people like that. So the YouTube channel, besides me giving you a lot of information and informative stuff, is also good for me because it often brings in good connections and business. And that's also a win-win for everybody. So that's why I keep doing the videos, even if I have nothing to talk about, like today. So I have been working on Space Grunt 3. I have been doing a lot of things. My productivity got back last week before I left. So a lot of things happened there. probably talking about that on next week's video. I just don't have a lot of time to do this video and go into all the Space Grunts video and record all the Space Grunts changes and gameplay and things like that. It's a bit hectic right now, but it's in a good way hectic. So I think that's the end of this video. Now I am gonna end this with something that was kind of unexpected and happened last Friday. People on the Discord already know. 4 videos ago, pretty sure it's 4 videos ago, I ended the video saying our cat Nikki has passed after 16 years and dedicated that video to her. And it's almost to the day, a month later, that her brother Sufi, which is the Dutch word for goofy. We named him that because we had these two when they were literally just thrown out of their mother. The mother cat was our neighbor's cat, and we were there to take care of it. And then we had the kittens very, very early when they were less like fit in your hand and they couldn't see yet, and they would only squeal or peep a little bit, not even when I was crushing it, but just normally. And we already noticed that Sufi or Goofy was a little bit different. He was a little bit behind the other cats as he grew up as well. It never changed. And Nikki would easily jump on tables and things. Sufi would try to jump on there, but always miss and need a second attempt to make sure he was at the right height and things like that. I was expecting him to last a lot longer because he would sleep at 20 or 32 hours in a day. And yes, 32 hours in a day, if possible. He really loved to sleep and just relax and be very, very still, while Nikki was jumping all over the place, and he was the opposite. And yeah, it was very sudden. We had to take him to the vet for some things. He wasn't eating right. He was barfing up all his food, and we knew there was something wrong, so we figured let's have a little checkup and see what's wrong. But then apparently it was far worse than we thought, and his inner areas were just much further gone than we thought. It wasn't noticeable on the outside, but the inside apparently was, it was just going to be pain for him. So yeah, 4 weeks between. So I'm dedicating this video to Sufi, and that also means I'm ending the video here. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment below. And if you have nothing to comment on this whole video, although the intro, there's a lot there you can comment on. But if you have nothing else, then as for dedication for Sufi, put it in the comments, Sufi. And thanks for watching as always. And I will see you next week's video with whatever I'm going to talk about. No idea yet. Probably Space Grunts 3. We'll see. Hopefully you'll see as well. I'll see you there, and thanks for watching. Bye.